Right now at noon, Madison police are on the scene of the city's first homicide of 2019. We're live on the east side with the latest on the investigation. And a man on a cross-country journey to raise awareness about suicide makes a stop in Madison. We'll have more on his motivation for this 3-year trek.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now at noon.
MRK police are investigating the first homicide of the year in Madison. A 30-year-old woman was murdered in a field across from the Salvation Army at the corner of Darbo Drive and Richard Davis Lane. That's where we go to Jamie Perez, who has more details. Jamie, what are the police saying right now about all of this?
Well, this is actually still a pretty active scene going on here right behind me. And earlier they had their K-9 teams out here scouring the field for anything they could find that could give them a potential lead on who the suspect may be. Now, that call came in just after 4 o'clock this morning. Police tell us the woman, who they believe is Asian, was hanging out with some friends at these apartments. Her friends told police that this woman never came back inside, so they went out looking for her, and they found her in this field where they performed life-saving measures before police and emergency crews were able to get here. Now, police spokesperson Joel Despain said this area has had issues in the past, but for the past few years, he said this has been a generally safe area. But right now, since the suspect is still out there, he does advise people to take extra caution.
Oh, there is some danger to the community right now. I don't think we can discount that. At the same time, you know, we advise people that if they can, walk in well-lit areas, don't walk alone at night, all those things. And I'm not victim blaming here. She had just left an area where she did know people for a short period of time. But again, as we move forward, you know, I would like to be able to say that there is not a danger to the community, that this is someone who knew her or was associated with her. I can't say that yet because we don't know.
After speaking with several people who live in this neighborhood, there are some mixed feelings about just how safe this area is. Anyone with any information on this is asked to call Crime Stoppers. Right now, police are not saying the injuries that she sustained or just how she died, but we're hoping to get some more information. So I'll join you live right here on News 3 Now at 4, 5, and 6 with the latest.
All right, Jamie Perez reporting live from the east side. Thank you. Let's head to the Weather Center now. Meteorologist Chris Reese has a look at your first alert forecast. Hi, Chris.
Good morning, Mark, or good afternoon, rather. We've had a beautiful morning with a lot of sunshine out there today. That continues as we rumble on through the afternoon. Here's a live look from the station camera right now. This is looking east towards downtown, and this is how it's going to look as we go through the rest of the afternoon and evening. It's actually a struggle to find any true cloud cover over the upper Midwest. Hopefully we can keep it that way going through the weekend, because that's the plan right now. 71 is our temperature. Winds are coming out of the east at 9 miles per hour. Dew points in the 50s means it does feel good. Janesville at 73, Watertown at 70, 68 in Wisconsin Dells right now, along with 68 up towards Watoma. Folks, as we go through the afternoon, we'll warm up about 5 more degrees. Look for highs right around 76, and those winds staying anywhere between the east and the northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. We'll talk about how long this continues and when we could see rain chances coming up in Maine weather.
All right, Chris, we'll see you then. Thank you. New at noon, a Milwaukee County man is dead after a freak elevator accident in New York City. 30-year-old Samuel Waisbrun was there trying to fulfill his dreams. He was in a crowded elevator in Manhattan yesterday morning, and when he tried getting off, the elevator dropped. Officials say he was stuck between the door and the elevator shaft when the elevator crushed him.
Send someone out to New York City to find fame and fortune, and you know, and they don't provide a safe environment for him. Basically, they killed him.
One person was able to get off the elevator. 5 others were trapped until firefighters rescued them. A criminal investigation is underway. The New York Department of Buildings issued 16 violations regarding that elevator from 2017 to 2018. All of them were dismissed. The Waisbrun's family says a funeral is planned for Sunday. A Madison woman faces recklessly endangering safety charges after a stabbing in a Walgreens parking lot. This happened at the Walgreens at the intersection of East Washington Avenue and Stoughton Road on the city's east side. 41-year-old Kenya Ewing was arrested. Police say she and the victim knew each other but hadn't seen each other in years. The victim was cut in her back and stabbed in the stomach, but is expected to be okay. Governor Tony Evers has signed an executive order to curb the substance known as PFAS. It's a man-made chemical that has been used for decades in firefighting foam, nonstick cookware, and fast food wrappers. The executive order calls on state environmental and agricultural officials to set up a website on PFAS, collaborate with wastewater treatment plants to identify PFAS sources and develop regulatory standards. A panel of federal judges has ruled that Democrats who challenge Republican-drawn political maps do not have to pay attorney's fees and costs the GOP incurred in defending against a gerrymandering lawsuit. The lawsuit died after the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that claims of partisan gerrymandering are beyond the reach of federal courts. The three federal judges wrote that, quote, justice is best served by having each side of the lawsuit pay their own cost. Since 2011, defense of the Republican-drawn maps has cost taxpayers more than $3.7 million. Happening now, a man on a cross-country bike ride for suicide awareness is making his way through Wisconsin. We met up with Massachusetts native David Hurd in Madison on his way to Platteville this morning. He's doing a 25,000-mile journey across 3 years, visiting 48 states. He told us he was inspired to take the journey after surviving 3 suicide attempts and seeing dozens of friends die by suicide. Right now, he's on State Highway 28 and has done about 13,000 miles in the last 8 months.
When I started this project, it was more so for my own well-being, and over time it's grown, and I've realized that there's a lot more people that are suffering alone and that really don't know that there's help out there and that there's people willing to help people.
Hurd is riding as part of the One Pedal at a Time movement. It connects people who are overcoming obstacles through cycling. Hurd is taking the journey with no savings at all because financial issues contributed to some of his mental health struggles. So if you'd like to donate to help him pay for food or an occasional hotel break, go to ridewithdanusa.com. Conservative billionaire David Koch has died. His brother Charles, CEO of the family's industrial conglomerate, Koch Industries, announced the death today. David Koch retired from the company and the Koch political operations in 2018, citing health reasons. He had a decades-long battle with prostate cancer. The Koch brothers were best known and vilified by Democrats for their role in politics, using their wealth to build think tanks, foundations, and political groups to spread their small government, free market message. David Koch was 79 years old. Right now, U.S. stocks are hitting session lows after President Trump appeared to mandate in a tweet that U.S. companies make their products at home. He says he'll hold a press conference this afternoon on the matter. His tweet is in response to China indicating it was preparing to raise tariffs in 2 batches on $75 billion on U.S. imports on September 1st and December 15th. That would coincide with the dates the U.S. is slated to increase tariffs on some $300 billion in Chinese goods. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Up next, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
Today, we have a south of the border treat that is oozing with flavor and cheese. So stay put so you don't miss out. Over the years, we've become a nation that loves quesadillas. But for one reason or another, many of us hardly ever make them at home. I think we would if we simply thought of them as a fancied-up grilled cheese made on a tortilla rather than bread. As for the filling, that can be anything from macaroni and cheese to a caramel apple version oozing with goodness. You get the idea. Our new favorite is to make them buffalo style, like we're doing today. All we do is lay out a few tortillas, and on one half, we pile on some shredded mozzarella, a good amount of buffalo chicken strips that we've chopped up, and a bit of diced celery. We place them on a hot buttered griddle or skillet, and once the cheese melts, we fold it in half. It only takes a few minutes, and when the filling's hot, it's done. These are just as good for a fill-you-up supper as they are for munching on after school or while watching a game. So here's what I suggest. Go online and get the recipe for our buffalo chicken quesadillas. This way, you can enjoy the best of both worlds in one melty treat. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a cheesy way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Thank you, Howard. Up next afternoon, beautiful weather today and through the weekend. Before we reach the final week of August, hard to believe. Chris Reese will have your first alert forecast next. Our call for action phone bank is open right now, ready to take on your consumer issues. You can call the hotline with volunteers who help you with any consumer complaints. The number is 608-270-2833. The service open every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday between 11 and 1. A food delivery company decides it'll stop skimping on drivers' pay, and a new report finds it may not be worth it to use credit cards with airline mile benefits. Diane King Hall has your Money Watch report.
Stocks headed south in early trading after China announced retaliatory tariffs. China says it plans to increase tariffs on $75 billion worth of U.S. goods by as much as 10% beginning September 1st. After blowback from customers, DoorDash is outlining some changes to its tipping policy. Since 2017, DoorDash has at times applied a customer's tip towards covering the base pay of the delivery person. Previously, the base pay was $1 an hour. The company says it will boost base pay to between $2 and $10 an hour, and tips will be extra. Rewards credit card holders, listen up. A new Bankrate.com report found that 68% of credit card holders are after rewards, but the average credit card charges about 18% interest. Do the math, and it may not make sense to accrue a few percentage points of airline miles. For people carrying a balance, Bankrate recommends balance transfer cards, which feature no interest periods as long as 21 months. And if you sign up for one of Apple's new credit cards, be prepared to give it some special care. Apple says the titanium card should not come into contact with coins, keys, or other credit cards for fear of scratching. There's also a two-step cleaning process involving microfiber cloths and alcohol. And that's your CBS Money Watch report. For more, head to cbsmoneywatch.com. At the New York Stock Exchange, I'm Diane King Hall.
Diane, thank you. At the noon hour on Wall Street, the Dow down 519 points on news of those new China tariffs. The Nasdaq off 194. The S&P 500 down 58. Not a good day so far. Q106 Farm Director Pam Yankee out of the radio barn today. So here are your farm numbers. Time now for the weather. Chris Reese is here, the most popular guy in the building right now.
Well, I will take the credit if that's where we're going. But we've got a lot of sunshine out there. That's what we're going to see as we go through the rest of the week, folks. That was our station cam. We see the same look from the Edgewater Sky Camera. The temperature, check it out, 71 degrees. Those winds coming out of the east at 9 miles per hour right now. We're all going to be seeing those temperatures into the 60s and 70s right about now. In fact, 69 in Wisconsin Dells right now. Juneau also at 69. Madison at 71. Mineral Point at 72. Our friends at Janesville at 73 right now. And there is not really much of a cloud cover out there across the upper Midwest as a whole. You don't see really any cloud cover. We've got to go all the way down to this cold front, pushing down throughout parts of the Ohio Valley and the Deep South, along with some cloud cover through the high plains right now. In the meantime, high pressure stays in control for us. That's keeping us dry. That's keeping the sunshine around. And our friends that have been dealing with the showers and storms, they get in on some sunshine as well as this high pressure starts to move just a little bit towards the south and east. It's going to put that front a bit further south than where it is right now. As for us, we are going to look to the skies to be full of blue and a big ball of yellow as we go through the rest of today and the weekend. Check out temperatures into the afternoon. We should top out right around 76. A lot of areas will be into the low 70s if they aren't that warm. Overnight tonight, those skies clear. We'll see those temperatures falling back down into the mid-50s. And then tomorrow we'll do it again. Look for highs this time perhaps in the mid to upper 70s for those highs before we cool down into the 50s again headed into your Sunday. But by Sunday at 10:30 again, we're going to see those temperatures back to about where they were today. at 10:30. This is all brought to us by some cooler air that we have over the eastern half of the country. I think we'll see another shot of that after a little warm up towards Monday. Another shot of some cooler air tries to dive in towards the eastern half of the country, and that will likely continue as we go through time. In fact, our temperatures are going to come down below average just a bit as we head towards, say, well, all of the forecasts other than Monday. It's going to be slightly below average, and that is the decent probability. As we look at the next 6 to 10 days, there is a strong probability of below normal temperatures for a large part of the center of our nation, a 90% probability once you get up towards western Minnesota and then the Dakotas. And here in Madison, we're looking at about a 70 to 80% probability of seeing temperatures below average. But it's not just the next 6 to 10 days. If we expand this out and we go towards September 5th, we still have a probability of seeing below normal temperatures throughout a large part of the country. We'll be below normal for your high this afternoon. We're looking at a temperature right around 76. We'll stay mostly sunny and pleasant overnight tonight. We'll see a low of 55 degrees. It is going to be an absolutely beautiful night if you have the chance to get outside. Sunshine continues. The rain chances will be Monday and Tuesday. That is where we're going to see another cold front come through. So our temperatures will climb up towards 80 for Monday. We'll come back down for Wednesday and Thursday. We'll also see a rain chance Friday as reinforcing cooler air comes in, and that'll keep us with sunshine and temperatures into perhaps the low 70s for next weekend as well.
After a hot August.
After a hot August, we deserve this one.
In the words of Mr. Food, it's oozing sunshine.
Oozing, yes, absolutely.
All right, Chris, thank you. Next at noon, there's a new tool that can help first responders quickly find missing dementia patients. We'll look at how it works next. Some first responders in Kentucky are now using a special tracking tool to keep vulnerable people like dementia patients out of danger. Miranda Combs reports.
Your body will block the signal if it's close enough. You know, we can find patients within 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
We aren't looking for a patient.
So stop here and try to spin a 360 and see if you
We're just trying to find a tiny receiver.
start adjusting.
What the heck is that?
It's above you if you want. So,
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
yeah.
It wasn't easy for us, but Montgomery County Battalion Chief Jeffrey Jackson is trained to do this.
We don't have the need or the opportunity to go out and find a person, so we have to make that opportunity ourselves by training.
Last Friday, EMS and searchers were out looking for Bob Herndon, a dementia patient that walked away from home. It took 24 hours to find him alive.
He was found within a half mile of his house. So vast majority of the patients that we would go out and look for are within a quarter to 1 mile of the residence.
Chief Jackson says the outcome would have been much different if it was the dead of winter. That's why he's pushing for all counties to use this.
Just wrapped around the wrist.
Looks like a watch and particularly useful for the growing amount of adults with dementia and Alzheimer's and people with autism.
It's similar to LoJack that police would use to find a stolen vehicle several years ago. So it emits a constant beep.
He says this receiver is so important because even if a person was traveling at a slow rate of 2 miles an hour, that's still a 16 square mile radius.
You know, 16 square miles is a lot of coverage, especially if we get in a rural area where there's a lot of woods, trees, streams where someone could hunker down and hide.
So the louder the beep, the better the hope.
Interesting tool. Chris Reese,
Very
not
interesting.
far from your old stomping grounds there.
No, that is about 30 minutes away from the town that I lived in and went to high school in. That's Lexington, Kentucky. So cool stuff coming from there. They've had a lot of thunderstorms in Lexington, but we have the sunshine here in south central Wisconsin. We're going to keep that sunshine around going through your Friday. Look for highs right around 76, 77 on Saturday, 78 on Sunday. If you can get outdoors this weekend, I'm telling you, do it. It's going to be fantastic. Monday and Tuesday, we'll see a chance for some showers and thunderstorms. I can't rule out a possibility on Wednesday. This is all another reinforcing shot of cooler air. You'll see another reinforcing shot on Friday, but that should be exactly what we need for an absolutely spectacular Labor Day weekend.
Looking great. All right, Chris, thank you. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you back here at 4. In the meantime, have a great afternoon.